Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma here. It's the weekend, and it is not a movie review. Due to vacation and stuff, I am not around this week, so I've put up this video as a kind of stopgap in between me not going to see a movie. Obviously, we had two the past weekend. I could have spread them out, but or the week before, sorry, so I could have spread it all out, but I decided not to. So yes, so as the title, you know, the decline in new physical media and how I feel, my thoughts and views are on it. So I know I'm very much in the minority of people who go to the cinema, who try to advertise, who try to be kind of positive, 100% right. And I'm not saying that everyone is negative. I'm just saying that there, you know, people prefer streaming and a lot of other stuff and just don't necessarily see a problem. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, physical media isn't dying. Unfortunately, it does seem to be the case. So when you look into the statistics for 2024, there is a drop of sales of 23.4%. So that's almost a quarter of the sales from 2023 were then done in 2024. 4K is up 10%, so it's good that that format seems to be working well, but it means obviously and that's probably for other reasons, even though it is more expensive. Now, overall, obviously the market make $57.17 billion for the US, this is, and that's 7 times larger than what the box office is. When you look at that and you start breaking down, it's all the box set, you know, the standard DVD is like a tenner and standard Blu-ray is like £15. When you have these box sets of £50, £60, you know, each one of those is costing 3 times, 4 times the amount of what standard disc is, and this is where they seem to be making the money. Not only is this, but a lot of these editions are for older movies that aren't out. So this kind of has like not only a sales going down of new physical media, but we're producing a lot more of stuff of older. A lot of new stuff just isn't released. Sometimes that's why people bootleg and go that route, and I can definitely understand that. And as I say, because of I try to be very optimistic. I try to go to cinema. I want to support it. That's where the movies get supported at the cinema. Like, you know, you go and buy loads of copies of the DVD or stuff. That's great. The secondhand market works really well on that. You know, the companies who produce those work really well, but it doesn't necessarily mean all the money goes to the studio who made the film in the first place, and obviously boost up how much that earning to make a sequel or stuff like this. And the reason just for highlighting this movie is because of the decline, because as I'm showing there, like, you know, almost it's down by a quarter. And obviously if you keep going that, there will be a point where they just won't release it, or even the fact of what they're releasing is they're releasing less and less newer titles and more older stuff on box sets that are obviously flooding the market. And when you flood the market with stuff, people are getting sick. It's noticed in other videos on YouTube and stuff that people are getting sick of the editions that they do. You know, it's like standard movies that don't even need upgrades are getting 4Ks and box sets, you know, that aren't sometimes that good. AI are sometimes doing it, and it just isn't coming across very, very great for the consumer. Now, the reason why I do my positive is, and I know I'm in that minority of the cinema watchers and stuff like this, is that this decreases. The people going to the cinema seems to be decreasing. You know, there are movies and people do sometimes flood. You know, I'm sure Superman will be a prime example when it comes out. People want to go see that. But the way the people that go to see the cinema overall is dwindling. There will come a point where, and I'll use the example, say 10 years. Say 10 years' time, we have no more cinema. People just don't want to go to it. They don't like that experience, or it's too much of an inconvenience, or it's too much cost, or for whatever reasons. We're just saying 10. So the next thing of what we do it, we move it down to, for these consumers people who like movies and stuff like this, is streaming. Streaming is where it will be. Obviously, you have Disney Plus, which I think is like £8 a month. I think Netflix is about the same, Paramount, and Now TV and stuff like this. You're probably 40, 50 quid, probably the cost of what Sky is to have a lot of these streaming sites. And that is what the options will be, which I feel will be a bit of a shame. I feel that it is going that way, but I'm still going to push against the curve. I'm still going to be optimistic, and that even if cinemas do die, I hope that then when we're stuck with streaming, and what I feel streaming will then evolve into is that it will push people back to actually wanting to go back to the cinema, and maybe it will have like a kind of a another 10, 20 years time, it will have another kind of second life. That's what I hope. Obviously, I'll be in my 60s by then, so I'll hopefully be retired and can go to cinemas as often as I want. Who knows? But yeah, but how we kind of interpret movies and how we kind of take them in, obviously that does change as well. So I do understand the audiences that movies are made to does change over time. It's totally understandable. Not everything can be as, if you've been into movies like 20, 30 years like I have, nothing can be the same as it was back then. That just is the way. But what, as I say, the involvement of cinema's gone. We are now stuck with streamings. With any company, as you were even seeing on streamings, when Netflix first came out, it was fluent. There was so much content and so much stuff that you enjoyed. And now obviously there's other market network, so we get a lot of Korean, a lot of Japanese stuff and that on there. Some of the anime stuff is great because I'm a big anime fan, so that works really me. A lot of the Korean series and stuff they get because of obviously Squid Games and something, how popular that is. Not all of it is for me. There is a lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily meet what I would intentionally go and watch. And then obviously as time goes on, obviously then they add the cheaper version then has ads. So, and this kind of, if you've seen the new Black Mirror series, the first episode kind of gives it away where the woman has this. Essentially, that's what streaming sites will do. Over time, they will just keep increasing the prices, even of the standard versions. Unfortunately, to do that, the money that they're paying out to these companies to get these movies and stuff will go down, and they will try and have less content on there, but the streaming site will be more prices. This is where it starts to see why do I need to, pay this amount of money to watch this amount of films? I mean, the amount I have, I could probably rent out to everyone I know and say, look, you pay me £10 a month, you can come watch whatever you want from my disc, and I'll be quids in, as long as they don't screw the disc or something. You'd have to be a little bit, but that's where it gets more profit as the content gets shorter and shorter and shorter, or even the newest stuff isn't necessarily as great. That could be down to attention span, that could be down to quality. But this is where you then start to lead it. And it goes, well, what do you do then? And I think we're starting to see glimmers of this, that people are now like, well, Netflix is going up, Disney Plus is going up, Paramount, I don't know if Paramount's going up, but streaming sites are all going up, the content is going less, or it's a lot of stuff that you've already seen. Oh, I don't do it. Well, I actually want to watch this. I want to watch, say, Top Gun. Oh, it's not on Netflix. It's not on Disney Plus. It's not on Paramount. Oh, well, let's have a look online. Oh, CX. CX have it for £2. I'll go and CX because I've got one when I go in town and buy it for £2. Brilliant. It's there. And that's where I think the future is. Unfortunately, for me, I would love to encourage more people to go to the cinema, to build this up so more new movies get more funds behind them. So, and I'm not saying all movies are great. I'm not saying all movies are rubbish. It's mixed, as I say. There's a lot of factors to consider, how you're feeling, what sort of film it is, and all this stuff. But I just feel that regardless of what I do, that's how it is. Cinemas will close in 5-10 years, I suspect. On the back of that, we will be stuck with streaming. People by then will probably fed up of streaming because it'd be so expensive and there'll be so little content. And I say, and people will want to watch new stuff, or a new film will come out and say it comes out on Netflix, and you're stuck. Oh, I'm going to have to pay 20 quid for Netflix to watch this one movie that I want to watch, which is probably cheaper than what it is to go to the cinema to watch it in the privilege of my own home. Is it really worth it? Will this mean that obviously, and people's interpretations, because as I said before, with the phones out, people get distracted when they're at home. I can hold my hand up to that. You don't really pay too much attention on these new series, or if you do get distracted on your phone for certain sections, you honestly, if you aren't paying attention to the movie the whole time, you're not concentrating, you're not taking it in, you're not appreciating it for whatever it is. And that's appreciating it for if it's good or if it's bad. That is a common fact. If you are distracted, or you doing more than one thing, and I mean more than one thing than breathing and reading or something. If you're watching a movie but then reading something on a phone, you're not giving that the time of day. The reason why, and that filters into people's kind of nowadays, is a lot of movies are quite longer. They're not 90 minutes as they used to be. People are watching these movies on streaming. on their phone and not really paying attention to it, and go, well, actually, I really would prefer to watch, as I said, like Top Gun. Or get they buy Top Gun on DVD, they put it in the DVD player. They can still sit there on their phone and go have a cup of tea, but because they've seen it so many times and they know it, they're like, it's still as good as I remember it. Yeah, but you weren't paying attention because you know it, and this is where it's kind of double standards, I feel. And I say the whole point I am trying to be a positive force, and the whole point of my YouTube channel and the whole point of stuff is to be a positive impact outlet. That's why I don't really downgrade movies. I feel every movie is worth a watch. Whether you like it or not, that's fine. I kind of feel most movies are worth a second watch. And everybody's opinions are different, and I don't, what I like, what some things I like, some people might not like, and I understand that. I won't hold that against them, and I don't expect them to hold it against me. But as I say, I just feel in this, I'm using this fictitious time limit of, say, 10 years, if we are just stuck all in our houses, and this is the thing, we've stuck in the houses, obviously COVID has shown that we can do a lot of stuff from home, and even I flourish at home because that's where I work and stuff. You still need that interaction, and that's the point of when you don't have cinema and don't step out, and you're all stuck in your houses and everything's at a touch, and you get your shopping delivered and that. We stop communicating with people. It's why, look how dating has changed, and it's all online, and it's nowhere near what it used to be. And I say, anyway, it's a bit of a run video, a bit of all over the place, but yeah, that is why. So if you do watch my channel, if you do watch my videos, that is my mindset. I want to be positive, and I don't want the cinemas to go away. I don't want new physical media to go away. I don't want them to do dodgy boxes of old stuff that we don't need either. But it is what it is. I am, a creature of my environment, and that is what is happening. I'm just trying to put some positivity out there. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this talk. Sorry there's been no movie review for this weekend. If you want to chime in on this subject, please let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. I've been Signal Screen Time, and I shall see you in the next one.